The previous video ended with a description of how to still the body-mind and let go to uncover being by focusing on breathing. Mastering that practice may be all you'll ever need to end frequent insomnia for the rest of your life. When we let go of all thoughts, one of two benefits follows. If we're tired or sleepy, we fall asleep. If we're alert, we open to being by escaping from thought prison. That's a win-win. With respect to being sleep deprived, falling asleep is the point. With respect to liberation from becoming, that's an even greater blessing. Are you grateful for your frequent insomnia? Try thinking of it as life trying to teach you that you're stuck in becoming. When you free yourself, you'll be able to look back on the process with gratitude. It's not that you'll never be able to think again. Instead of being stuck with incessant, habitual thinking, the constant chatter of the voice in the head, it's that you'll be free to think or not. As Eckhart Tolle puts it, quote, "The moment that judgment stops through acceptance of what is, you are free of the mind," end quote. Freedom from compulsory, involuntary thoughting will improve the quality of the rest of your life. Unintentionally, your thoughts are creating most of your dissatisfaction. When you become more masterful, that dissatisfaction will disappear. That's the result of your insomnia. Hooray! Here's how to make that breathing practice even easier and more effective. It's what initially seems to be a separate technique, but with practice, what appear to be two different techniques will merge into one superior practice. It's very enjoyable to notice the aliveness in our bodies. We're usually thinking so furiously that we don't notice it. Assume the recommended position from the previous video and relax into stillness. Select a specific part of one hand, perhaps the thumb of your right hand or the forefinger knuckle of your left hand. Focus only on the sensation inside that body part until you feel a kind of energy or tingling. It may be weak at first, but it will intensify with practice. Then extend it throughout the rest of your body. You might be able to feel it on your first attempt. More likely, it'll require some practice. It took me about 5 minutes daily for 2 weeks until I felt it just in a knuckle. Then I extended it to the finger, then to the whole hand, then to the other hand, then to one foot after another, then up the legs and arms into the shoulders, face, and torso. That process could take a few weeks. Just be patient until you master it. That's aliveness awareness. Then connect aliveness awareness to your breathing practice. How? There are two ways to do that. Either is optional. If you're fine just following your inhalations and exhalations, no problem. There's no need to do either one. But either can help. Extending breathing to include aliveness awareness intensifies the practice and fosters liberation. How do you connect them? As you inhale, feel the aliveness seem to move from your feet up to your head during the in-breath, and as you exhale, feel the aliveness seem to move from your head down to your feet during the out-breath. Following up and down is rather like following a wave. Nothing is moving except your attention. The second way is to follow the aliveness with the inhalation into your stomach and extend the aliveness outward from there throughout your torso, down your arms to your hands, and down your legs to your feet. Although the air isn't really getting beyond your lungs, the aliveness can be felt that way throughout the body. With the exhalation, Reverse the process. Follow the aliveness back towards the center of your lower torso. Both techniques intensify the breathing practice. Techniques should be temporary. Don't get attached to any. Eventually, you'll be able to simply shift your attention from becoming to being without using any technique. If you're working on a major problem, deliberately shifting from becoming to being and back again a few times can stimulate a solution. However, even though such techniques may be helpful, please don't think of any as just some means to an end. Detach from all thoughts about the future as soon as you notice them. Just enjoy being. The practice is its own reward. The future is nothing but a set of thoughts about what might happen. As such, let them all go too. If instead you cling to them, you'll block liberation. Frequency is more important than duration. 10 one-minute sessions during an afternoon are superior to one 60-minute session. When you're not formally practicing, the more frequently you pay attention throughout the day to your breathing and the aliveness of your body, the more you'll break out of the stream of thoughts. The more you live outside that stream, the happier you'll be and the better you'll live. That's how sages live. They transcend all dissatisfaction. They're the wisest and most peaceful, cheerful, happy, and loving human beings. That's the result of fully opening to their true nature and living from that perspective. All doings occur in the temporal domain of becoming. All thoughts, all judgments, conceptualizations, and evaluations are doings. Thoughts require forms or objects to be about. That's their content. You may wonder whether or not the claim I previously made that thoughts are doings is correct. They're somewhat analogous to breaths. Breathing is automatic, but if we want, we do have some control over it because we're able to speed it up or slow it down voluntarily. Our control over it is very limited, however. We cannot, for example, commit suicide simply by holding our breath until we die. In fact, breathing is automatic because it'll continue whether or not we try to control it at all. We never have to control it. Perhaps 80 or 90% of thoughts are also automatic, involuntary, compulsive, addictive, habitual. Trying to force that incessant chatter away fails. It's impossible to think it away. Notice how frequently we try to diminish thoughts by using psychoactive drugs or pursuing intense activities like mountain climbing, auto racing, bridge jumping, or even risky sex. Yes, they can sometimes temporarily hold thoughts back, but thoughts flood back once again as soon as the activity stops. We usually have the freedom to direct our attention, but that's not easy, and uninvited thoughts will occur as soon as we stop trying or engaging in some intense reaction. It's usually as if we're being thought rather than choosing to think. Since being is formless, it's empty and cannot be thought. If we learn to let go of all unwanted thoughts, we're able to apprehend being directly. Jianzi Shengan, the third Zen patriarch in ancient China, said that empty or unconditioned being, or, quote, the great perfection, is the same as vast space, lacking nothing, nothing extra, end quote, Ferguson translation. It's heaven. To this day, spiritual teachers use that analogy. Tola has pointed out that even the words for sky and heaven are the same in some languages, such as German and Spanish. Although it cannot be singled out, being pervades everything. It's unbounded, unlimited. It's the ultimate container, the ultimate reality. It's the context for all content. It's infinite presence. Like other animals, we're able to be conscious of objects or forms external to consciousness. unlike them, we're also able to be aware of that consciousness, which is pure consciousness. We can be conscious of consciousness. This topic of relating ourselves to being is important. Let's consider it more in the next video.